When you're ready to have a deeper and meaningful experience, then make yourself perfectly comfortable. That's right. Ease into the seat where you're sitting and just let go. Simply let go. Let go of thoughts, let go of expectations, and let go of anything that arises in your current experience. There's nothing worth holding on to anymore. This is a process of letting go and noticing whatever it is that may arise in awareness from moment to moment without any form of attachment or clinging or even labeling, let alone judging of your experience. So the following process is all about becoming aware of what you are aware of and being the awareness of awareness. And while that might not yet make any sense, it's the cue to simply let yourself be. There's nothing to do, nothing to acquire, no desire. Just being completely present for the purpose of establishing an enhanced awareness of what's going on in your mind, in your body, and that space that you occupy in this world, in this moment. And the benefits, if any, for such a process are the activation of your body's self-healing mechanisms, and maybe even the realization of yourself on more subtle levels. However, we're not attached to any such outcomes, because the attachment or desire to experience something of that kind is potentially what inhibits us from having the fullest, richest experience that we can. So as a way of becoming more fully present, you can begin by focusing on your breath and allow yourself to notice each inhalation and exhalation as it enters and releases. And notice how that very natural process of inhaling and exhaling occurs right outside of your conscious awareness. It doesn't need you to intervene or control it in any way. Simply pay attention to the naturalness of your breathing. And one way in which you can follow the breath and enter even more deeply into the present is to pay careful attention to those pauses. The pauses as your in-breath reaches its fullest point and is just beginning to shift and become the out-breath. So there's that moment of pause as your inhalation ends before the exhalation begins. And that moment of pause as the exhalation ends and the inhalation begins. That turning point or pause that you experience between each inhalation and exhalation. Simply notice that. The space between each in-breath and out-breath. Notice to what extent your awareness can merge with that space between breaths. Even when thoughts arise or you become aware of something else in the environment around you, emotional feelings, everything is welcome. And as soon as you notice that you have been caught up in a particular part of your experience, immediately return to that space in between your breaths. And I wonder to what extent you might begin to notice that space between breaths expanding. Becoming more. As you allow yourself to become that space between breaths. And now we continue, extending that space so that it's no longer reserved to only that pause between breaths, but the space that our entire body occupies. Become aware of the space that your body occupies, in addition to the pause between breaths. You're simply extending that space between the breaths to include the space that your body occupies, so that you're noticing your body as a whole, the entire volume of your body within the space that it occupies. And being aware of your body as a whole, you might notice a shift in in your current experience of self. Holding your body in awareness, cocooning your body, and feeling your whole self within this surrounding awareness. The awareness within you, between breaths, throughout you, and now surrounding you too. And any thoughts or feelings that arise in awareness are simply aspects of your current experience arising within this spatial awareness that surrounds you. Even any experiences from further afield, like my voice, the music, and anything else that occurs to you, occurs within your field of awareness. Your awareness extends to allow for all aspects of your experience, so that the awareness that surrounds you expands in all directions, through all dimensions, beyond time, and beyond anything that you can conceive of in tangible reality. And there's nothing for you to really do, because you're not extending your awareness as such. You're simply becoming more aware of everything else that is present in awareness, beyond simply your body and your own thoughts. While awareness of your body and thoughts remains present, the awareness can extend even further now to include everything else that is present in your experience. Simply noticing what you notice and allowing yourself to have a full experience of being aware. And with that, abstract concepts may arise in awareness. They may have emotions associated with them. And anything else may come and go. We simply notice what we notice. There's nothing to get caught up in. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to be. Very simply being aware. Allowing, letting go, and witnessing each aspect of our current experience. Now allow your awareness of self to become one in which you identify your place in the universe. And the universe is simply that aspect of your current experience that is beyond what you can conceive of. So we're allowing our own awareness to include even more than what is possible to experience. We're just allowing for anything. It's a surrendering to the everything. In other words, there's no resistance whatsoever to whatever it is that might arise in awareness. And now we're going to turn our attention again and simply notice how your personal experience of self is interrelated in some way with your non-personal experience of self. In other words, your experience of self that is not your ego or any identification with particular roles in your life, but how what is present right now interrelates with your experience of self. You're simply noticing the interplay between our own thoughts and perceptions and what is influencing them from moment to moment. With just a slight bit of curiosity. Staying curious enough to be aware of what might be influencing and giving rise to our personal experience of self from moment to moment. Now you might like to call forth any particular defining moments in your life or significant emotional events there within the realm of your expanded awareness. And simply notice how your current perception of self interrelates to any particular defining moments or experiences that have occurred within your life. Just notice the relationship between you and those experiences. And stay focused on that space in between you and the experience, the relationship itself. notice how the relationship is made up of energy and information. And that energy and information is nothing other than the meaning you are giving that event, person or situation, and your experience of it. That meaning is what constitutes the energy and information which make up the relationship. And that through changing the way in which you perceive that incident, event, person or situation, you change the meaning of that occurrence in your life. And in so doing, you change the way in which it impacts upon your present state. And now come back to the space that occupies your present state, your present experience of self. That space of awareness that you are surrounded by. Or the awareness that occupies the space that you are within. Now I'd like you to consider the future experiences that you may potentially have in your life ahead of now. And consider the interplay of whatever those future experiences might be and the current experience you are having. So in other words, your present state may well be influenced by future experiences that exist as potentialities. And while you might not be clear about any particular future experiences, there may well be certain outcomes in your future that are probable. And as you consider these future outcomes, any one or more, you may notice how your current perception of what the future holds for you is also affecting your present state. And notice the interplay between your present state and these potential future outcomes. focus specifically on the relationship between your present state and the future that you perceive as a possibility. How does your personal experience of self now come into existence through a potential future experience, or many potential future experiences? And notice it's how you perceive any potential future experiences that gives them meaning and influences your present state. Notice how you are co-creating those potential futures through the meaning you are giving them and the impact of that on your present state. And then let go of that and come back to being aware of the space in which you exist. The awareness of the space that surrounds you, the space that connects you to your past and your future and everything else in existence. The space that connects you to everyone else, everything else. The space that connects you to your thoughts and perceptions. The space that connects you to your personal experience of self. The space that surrounds your body. And finally, the space between each inhalation and exhalation. Returning once again to being aware of that space and pause between each in-breath and out-breath. And just feel what it's like to be present in your body once again, aware of your breathing, aware of what you are aware of from moment to moment. And now you can choose what is meaningful to you from that process, what you'd like to remember, what you'd like to take note of perhaps, and just crystallize that in your mind. And once that's clear to you, you'll have something to look forward to. And when you're ready to look forward to that, you may go ahead and have your eyes be opened.